Okay, well, here is a test. Vidette. Could we rename that bidet, maybe? Similar. We do bidet. Should we make our town called Bidet? I think we should. Well, welcome to the video. It's not Terraria, or Terraria, however you choose to pronounce it. But it is a mountainous, large, fair, disasters on or off. It's a mixed one. It's a real mixed one. Like, I do like disasters. Not really. I'm not that much of a psycho. But in this case, I don't know. I just feel like it's a tough one, isn't it? Because what does disasters bring? Disasters brings like disease, I think. I don't know if disasters is just fire or if it's also we're gonna try it with on. I think they freak me out a little bit, but it's fine. I think we'll do like a medium starting condition. That looks good. We're gonna click OK and we're gonna see what happens. And then once the town spawns in and is created, I will stop this video and I will see if it sounds good. Wow, as good as it can with me behind the microphone, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Things could be unbalanced. I'm only working with like one monitor, which is my external monitor, because my laptop screen is like cooked. Something wrong with it. I don't know if it's the LCD or there's something seriously wrong. It gets all these lines and does this weird fading. It's completely unusable. But I found this one like nice image of like a nice mountainous backdrop on Google Images, and if I put that in full screen on the laptop screen, it seems to settle down. It's a little bit like maybe a little bit overexposed, if you will, but there's no lines. It loves it. There's something about that very specific set of colors and excuse the massive 50 tons just flying over my house. It's probably can hear that on the microphone, but it'll buff. So we've got all these homeless people, and we will deal with them, but first, what's more important than homeless people? Making sure you sound okay. So I'm going to do that. I will be back shortly, hopefully. Okay, we're recording? We're recording, okay. Okay. I need to turn the UI down. What, do I? Maybe. I think I need to turn the volume down. Yeah, just a smidgen. If I go to audio. UI, is that the clicking? The clicking is loud. I mean, my mouse is louder. But like, turn the clicking right down. The music's on 6. Is that like too much? Effects? I'll turn that down a little bit maybe. I don't know. The music is kind of loud, but I don't know how it comes out on a video. That's the problem. I'm a noob. I don't know how to do these things, you know? I'm not a professional. But we'll just do it on a number 2. Number 2s are great. I think number 2 is good. It's better than a number 1. Wow, that's debatable. But what isn't debatable is the fact that we need to start collecting some resources. I got to remember how to play this game. No, it's production. We want removal. Let's remove these resources. Just everything. No discrimination. All of this is just great resources. I guess it gives us a time to have a little look. What speed are we on? 1 times. It's good for now, but we will go to 2 very soon. This is actually a pretty average starting map, I guess. It's not really that fantastic, because I mean we've got a little area here we can make like the main sort of town centre, I guess. But there's not like heaps of room for agriculture because of like all these, mountains and hills and stuff that are in the way, which is it's grotesque. I mean, even if we build a bridge over here, like there's nowhere. This is such a bit A map. It's actually so average. It presents an interesting challenge. I guess there's slightly more access to agriculture over here, but overall it's pretty crap. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a huge fan of this at all. I think a good thing to get set up would be some houses. I don't really want to make like a share house. I know that is something that you can do. I suppose we should probably assign some builders as well. How do you do that? Oh, that's right. It's here, isn't it? What's this? No, I don't want to increase priority jobs. Keep that there for the minute. General statistics. The jobs go over here, that's right. Yep. Cool. Wonderful. Looks good. We've got 4 builders, I'm assuming. No builders. Oh, they're 4 children. Well, they're useless. Shouldn't they be in school or something? Let's just bump it. I know we could go max builders because, we don't technically need labourers because builders are basically labourers with increased skills, but I like having a bit of a labourer buffer, because then when I you know, build a fishing hut or something, even like access to, it's just not even a big like creek that we've got access to. It's pretty rubbish. Like, we'd catch a lot more fish in this thing, but we have direct access to the main like river, so we will be able to get trading through, which is good. But yeah, not so much in the fishing. But you know, fish is it's a good source of food straight up. So we'll give it a bit of a whirl, I suppose. If we can place it, that seems reasonable enough. Hopefully it doesn't block old mate. Oh, look how disgusting it is though. Like, it's just, I really am strongly considering restarting this. I think I might. I just really don't like this map. I mean, it's not great, is it? It's really not great. I just don't like it at all. I mean, I guess we could do a little bit of farming here, so we like farmland. But it's just, I'm so not in love with this map. It's terrible, man. It sucks. Do I really want to restart so early? I'm truly considering it. I mean, I guess on the one hand, the good thing about this map being like the way it is we're going to have to like create more decentralized communities, I suppose. So, you know, have one smaller scale one here, smaller scale one here, so on and so forth, as opposed to like one big metropolis. But building a metropolis is kind of fun. But anyway, I thought where it has... Oh, it's already full. That's a good problem. Let's build a stockpile then. If it's here somewhere. I need to learn how to play this game again. Stockpile, where are you at? Okay, hold on. I need to like... Roads and bridges. Okay, it's got to be here. There it is. Where should we build this wonderful stockpile? How about right here, just for now? There you go. You got a stockpile straight away. Yeah, so I think food's pretty important. So is houses. We should probably get onto this because, you know, winter's just around the corner. Start off with wooden house, I think. I mean, we could go stone. Kind of tempting, but I think wood's a good way to start. So if we're going to have farming here, we might just, because the market is eventually going to be here-ish, I would say. But I guess what we can do is we can sort of set up a bit of a community here. Here we'll have some resource production, I think, like tailors and so forth. But here, this can be like the trading post eventually. This can be like the trading house. Yeah, we might just build a bit of a... Oh, should we leave one gap here for easy access, I think? I just want to make sure it's lined up. I think we'll do one gap pass so that people can get through there, because that's kind of important. And then... How wide do we want this? Oh, it's a main street. We'll have it like this wide. And we'll just create like a... What the... Oh my... My phone needs to settle down. You know what? More than the phone, it's the people calling it. I don't mind if it's a call that I'm happy to receive. But when it's like pestering, I'm not so pleased with it. You know, believe it or not, I think it's the same for everyone, to be honest. But some people, you just... Oh man. Oh, it's tough. It really is tough. I even put my phone on I put my phone on vibrate because I'm supposed to be like on call. This is a Monday I'm recording this, so I'm supposed to be working, to be honest. But you know, sometimes you've just got to extend the Monday into the Sunday and the Sunday into the Monday, if you catch my drift. You know, I think that's a good way of doing things. So you know, instead of just putting my phone on complete dead silence, which would have been really, really nice, I was like, oh, I'll put it on vibrate because, you know, then people can still get a hold of me if they need to. You know, I still can do the things. But honestly, it's in some ways it's more annoying than just the ringtone. I mean, the ringtone is annoying and it's more distracting for the microphone, of course. But the vibrate is just so like... It's like an aggressive swarm of wasps, you know? And it's just like, I'm not really feeling it. I don't really dig a swarm of wasps. Actually, I'm going to get a lot of slack for this, a lot of controversy, but I love wasps. You know, wasps are so cool. And I've never had, thankfully, as of yet, any bad experiences with wasps, even when I've been forced to eradicate them, which, to be fair, I really don't like. I was quite sad when I had to eradicate some wasp nests. It was just part of the job. Didn't really have much choice. Got to feed myself, and sometimes that comes at the expense of other things, but as it were, I was quite sad because, you know, wasps are really... I mean, some wasps maybe can be aggressive. You know, if you accidentally disturb their nest, sure. But as it goes, the majority of wasps, as I've found it, and look, I'm no wasp expert, but I've been around my fair share of wasp nests growing up. they leave you alone because they got no interest in you. If you're not disturbing them, they have no interest in wasting their time and energy going around swarming you and stinging you. It's only when you do something silly like throw a rock at their nest or something ridiculous, where they're all like, okay, well you're like, you know, attacking my home, so I'm probably going to attack you. Like, it's a fair trade. But people just hate wasps because if you get stung by like an angry swarm of wasps, you're going to be in a lot of pain. So it's understandable why there is the disdain for wasps. But look, mate, they're part of the ecosystem just like we are. So, you know, or live it or lump it or like it or lump it or whatever they say, you know. I think wasps are pretty cool. Because, I mean, heck, they build these incredible nests, you know, like out of mud or like paper, even though it's not like traditional paper what you'd get out of your printer. But you catch my drift. They build some pretty cool stuff. And to be fair, they look cool as heck. You ever seen those big Japanese hornet wasps? Like, you ever seen one of those just on a photo or in a video, but let alone actually in real life? Those things are massive. Like, they're built like a freaking fighter plane. They're so cool to look at. You know, you wouldn't want to get stung by one, but damn, are they pretty impressive looking. Like, it's kind of a bit like if you were at a gym and you saw like a massive roided up gym junkie, you'd be like, oh wow, that's pretty impressive. Wouldn't want to get stung by them, but you know, something different, pretty cool to see. Although it's also kind of not cool to see sometimes. When they go a bit too far, like, they sort of start to look a bit microwaved. I think someone said on the internet that this dude that did a bunch of roids looked like a microwaved frog. And to be fair, it was a reasonable assessment, but, you know. Anyway, that's enough about roids. Don't do them, kids. They're bad for your health, apparently. But unless you want to, then, you know, go for your life. Who cares? Acne is good, right? But anyway, that's besides the point. I don't really know what we're doing with that. Alright, I think it's time to boost the speed now. We've gotten to the point where we've done all the basic things. We're lacking in food. That's what we really need. Is to get onto food, and it's early enough where, you know, in the centre, we'll obviously change this in the future, but like, I can't remember the proper dimensions for like a crop field, but we'll grow some potatoes. We'll get 2 people working this field this spring or summer. And we'll get them hopefully pumping that out pretty soon. I should have gotten onto that early because we're already in late spring, so we're not going to have the best yield. But, you know, agriculture is a pretty good way to get the food up in Banished, I've found. Like, fishing can be good, and we will build a little bridge here, I think, is actually a priority. Because if we do, what's that, a little wooden bridge? Because it's so cheap to, maybe this place isn't so bad after all. Where do we want this bridge? We want it to sort of connect through town, the main, like, easeway to this storage barn. Okay, that seems reasonable enough. Yeah, if we did that, I think that's a good crossing, because here we'll have a gatherer, or a herbalist and a gatherer, because the herbalist really doesn't like stuff getting cut down. So, and they produce a lot of healthy things that keeps everyone healthy, apparently. We'll have them there, because in terms of our, like, you know, resource production for our firewood and so on and so forth, you know, like, this is going to be a big forestry area, whatever, it's going to produce a lot of good stuff. It's going to get funneled in here. But obviously the herbalist isn't going to love it. So if we can keep the herbalist local, they can spend less time messing around if they're local, and they will have their little undisturbed patch. Even just this little patch here is likely going to produce a lot more herbs than this massive patch over here. Even if you had 2 herbalists, but if it's constantly getting knocked down and replanted and stuff, they don't like it for some reason. I think they're just a bit like pretentious, you know. They're is everyone got a home? Oh, I think be close to everyone getting a home once this one's built, but we might have to do one more. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I think they're a bit pretentious, the herbalists in this game, because like, bruz, you've got this massive cool ass forest, and yeah, sure there's a bit of lumberjack stuff going on, but like, can't you just get over yourself and continue to pick your freaking mushrooms? I mean, yeah, sure, the ground's disturbed, but like, come on, man, seriously. Well, hopefully the game audio is not too loud. It's a bit loud on my part, but like, you know, if it's loud on your part, well, that's tough. I can just turn my entire volume down, and you can turn your entire volume down too, but you're not going to have the same effect as what I have. So we still have a couple homeless people. Maybe we'll build a stone house. Do we have enough stone? No. Oh, is that iron or no? We're low on stone, so we will just build another wooden house. Yes, I know we're low on stone. Oh no, firewood. Oh yeah, we're gonna make a lumberjack. Damn. You know, this is hard game. Lumberjack. We said we were going to do resource production here, didn't we? So like, the lumberjack can probably just chill out here, I reckon, or do one little bit so there's a path, and then we also want to tailor at some point. But we've got enough textiles and clothes and stuff to last us a little while. So I don't have to get onto that straight away, which is nice. And then we need one more house. If we put it here, they're going to harvest stone, and it's going to be like, oh, this one's going to be the nicest house on the block. This one's going to be the one that's a bit like offset and just looks out into the water. It's going to be like the trading post house. Everyone loves this house. So we'll get onto that one. We need a fisher. Do we have an available labourer? Well, we don't want more than 2 people fishing. What's our stats looking like with our labour? We've got a couple of labourers. Yeah, we'll do 2 fishermen to begin with, / women. You know, I know you're homeless. Doesn't matter. You can still keep working. It's no excuse to be late to work just because you don't have somewhere to live, somewhere to shower, somewhere to eat. Like, that's just a you problem. You know, it's a skill issue. Let's be honest. So they're getting onto that pretty pronto, which is nice. I feel like 2 times is a good speed to be running this one out. Oh yeah, what's low now? Firewood, stone. You're all stoned, that's what I reckon. Do we have much in the way of logs? We do have a fair bit of logs, but like, I think this is all going to be agriculture here, so we can probably demolish this whole forest, is what I'm thinking. Remove resources. I think we just demolish this whole lot, I think. It's a pretty good idea. 'Cause yeah, this is all going to be like houses, agriculture. A lot of agriculture, you know, and then like in terms of, again, the hunting cabins and the forestry and renewables can all be along these lines, I think. Maybe a little bit here, we'll probably have 1 forestry here, I reckon, and a hunting cabin there. And that allows easy access, but mostly will be whatever it will be. You know, these sort of games I think are harder to record videos on in some ways. Like the gameplay itself is pretty easy. Maybe later on it'll be a bit easier, you know, when everything's like chugging along and I'm just sort of sitting back a bit, but like, you got to be pretty mentally engaged, especially on the early stages with games, to really keep up with it. But I suppose the other side of the coin is that you, how do you put this? It's not a great editing game. Terraria, on the other hand, I was actually really happy with how that video turned out in terms of the editing. Is you can really like cut it around and do some. Oh, you're cold. Why are you cold? Do you not have firewood? Do you not know how to get firewood? You literally pick it up off the ground. I'm sure there's plenty in there. You know, it's just, again, a skill issue. But yeah, like, you know, with Terraria, I just don't really feel like talking for 5 minutes. I'm just doing stuff in the background, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Cut the video, boom, done. Happy days. And I really like a good edited video. Whereas I'm not sure whether or not I'll edit these Banished videos, because it's a lot more about the gameplay. But also, not just is it somewhat more about the gameplay, but it's also harder to edit. I feel like it, excuse me, it'd be more janky and like not so good. But we'll see. How are we going? We've got the man doing the firewood. Is it a man or is it a woman? Who's the logger? I don't know. Does it matter? Game just had a moment. I tried doing a Minecraft Let's Play, because that's, again, a good one to edit. But my computer's not up to it. Straight up, like, it couldn't handle the recording and the playing of Minecraft. It was really stuttery. And I did not like it. Gatherer's Hut, which this one do? Roots and berries. Oh, the Gatherer's does lots of food. Oh, the Herbalist is in resource production, because apparently it's a resource. I don't know if we do Gatherer's Hut. I think we're going to be pretty sweet with food, to be honest. Like, I think we're going to have no problems. So I don't think we need the Gatherers, but like, we're also pretty healthy. Like, I think we just hold back on both of those things for now and focus on the more important things. I wonder how they're doing. Yeah, pretty bad so far, but yeah, we'll give it a season or 2. If it turns out to be real unworthwhile. Unworthwhile? Is that a word? I don't think so. Could be. Then we'll just demolish it and do something else. This is a nice little river. Yeah, I want to build houses on these mountains. What's low now? Firewood. Yeah, City Skylines would be a good one to play, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I want to get more into the videos and stuff. It's been like a however many year break. It's been a long time, to be honest, since the last video. I'm in good spirits today, though. I sound like a little bit happy, which is good. Because this is the thing, it makes me like somewhat sad. It's like when YouTubers that like, you know, I spent a lot of time watching back in the olden days of YouTube. Well, not the super olden days, but like, you know, 2012, 2013, 14, 15, that sort of era. You know, they were so much younger and more like full of life and enthusiasm, you know what I mean? And like, you just hear it in their voice, like, you know what I'm saying? But then like, as people get older, you know, not only does their voice change, And I'm not talking like, you know, your voice breaking and going from being a squeaker to like just a normal voice, but I mean more so like adult voices just change over time, I think. Some of that's different microphones and stuff like that, but like, I guess what I'm getting at is like someone in their early 20s sounds different, at least to me, than someone in their 40s, you know what I mean, or late 30s or whatever, or 50s, or so, you know what I mean. So as people get older, the way they talk, everything just changes, right? That's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just the way life is. But what I'm trying to get at is like, you know, to me it's kind of like, I don't know, you look back on it and you're like, wow, this is a different time, everything was different, you know, because that's just life. It's not that things were different back in the day, even though they were. It's more so your perception of life and your experience of life was different because you were younger. And when you're younger, life, generally speaking, it's not the case for everyone. Some people have a pretty heavy load to deal with early on, but generally you have less responsibilities. You just like, you're more carefree. You're more just, you know, innocent to the world, if you will, and it's kind of nice, you know what I mean? And it's just, you know, getting older, that changes a fair bit, and you can just hear it in people's voices, and I definitely notice it in mine sometimes. I know it's not been like a decade since I did that Terraria Let's Play. It was a good series, that one, a whole single episode. Perhaps I will return to it one day, but, you know, a lot of the time I go, because I've attempted to make like a second video, both Terraria and Minecraft, like a lot since then, and I've just recorded them and never uploaded them, because every time I'd listen to them back and I'd be like, oh, you sound so like depressed and like old, and I'm just like, it's not even like a self-conscious thing. It's not like oh, you know, I don't really give a stuff what other people think. Like I do and I don't. I say like I'm not self-conscious, but I mean, who isn't self-conscious to a degree, right? But I guess what I'm getting at is I'm just like, I just don't like the vibes of this video. I just sound so grumpy, you know. Whereas I listened to that Terraria video and I was just so like upbeat. I think we'll tell them to harvest now. Oh, 6.9, we just missed it, but the yield will still keep going up, you see. But it's not going to go up fast enough, is it? I think we harvested too early. I got nervous, you know. But yeah, you know, like I don't know. It's a bigger side. But I guess basically what I'm getting at is the reason I'm so inspired to record this video today is because I feel like I sound like I'm not a completely old grump. And you know, who wants to be an old grump, right? Me, actually. I long for the day where I'm like 90 years old and I can barely hear anything, and I can just rage bait people fully, like, I'm like, what did you say? And I can just like fart whenever I want, you know, and just like basically be the biggest menace, and people can't even laugh. They can't even, like, they'll laugh behind your back, but like they've got to pretend to be serious in front of you, and you're just acting like a geriatric Looney Tune. And I feel like that'd be like a pretty cool thing, because I mean, there has to be some sort of benefit to being super old and decrepit, right? It's like, okay, I got no freedom, I got no dignity anymore, I'm old, can't do anything fun, whatever. But you know what I can do? I can act like an absolute menace, and it's completely socially acceptable. You know, because that's life, isn't it? You go through that arc. Start out as like a baby, completely helpless, grow up to be a kid, and then like you can just be an absolute rascal and get away with it. Like you might get grounded or freaking in trouble or whatever, but like you can basically be like the biggest rage baiting freaking rascal out there and cause a lot of trouble and be a menace, and it's like, oh well, you're a kid, get away with it. And then there's all these adult years from like your 20s through to like probably your 60s, 70s, where you're like, you've got to be like serious, and you've got to be well behaved, and you can't be a menace anymore. And if you are a menace, then people just look at you like, oh, when's this kid going to grow up, right? But then you get to that certain age where you like start to do the old people shuffle, you know, and then that's like your free pass then to just be a menace again, and it's socially acceptable. So you have like the beginning and the end, menace, in between, serious. It's kind of like a sandwich, I guess. Like the stuff in between the sandwich is serious, right? But like the bread on either side is kind of just like the fluffy, menacing, you know, super high carbs part that, you know, celiac people are scared of or something. I don't know. It's kind of it's a bit out there, you know. I'll probably get a bit of flack for it or something, but it's just the way I see things, you know. Make the most of your youth and your geriatric period. Sounds pretty cool when you make it sound like that. Like it's kind of like the Jurassic period. And I guess it's kind of similar, because you know the Jurassic period was super long ago, and you know super old, whatever. And the geriatrics, they're super old, so it's kind of like, it's pretty cool, I guess. We've got heaps of firewood, so that's good news. How do we go with this? Oh, look at that. That's sick. Heaps of food. Nice. Absolutely wonderful. And then you look at the fishing. They've probably done not even 100 yet. Oh, yeah, look. They did some. That's good. It's almost winter now, though. I say that. It's not even late autumn, mate. But, you know, it's close enough. It's around the corner. Yeah, so I don't know. Editing, it's going to be hard. I'm just going to have to talk a lot. Which, I mean, I'm good at. But then it's just like the quality drops, you know? It's kind of like if you're doing exercise. You know, your first few sets are like real explosive and like, oh yeah, I'm so strong. And then by like the third or fourth set, you're like, oh yeah, I'm so strong. But like your quality drops and your form drops or whatever, or it can do. But that's where you got to get disciplined. That's where like what sets apart these like wannabe YouTubers from the ones that are actual professionals is the professionals can like record a video, especially unedited stuff, and they can like make it real entertaining and really keep it flowing for like 40-50 minutes, which is hard to do. That's like endurance. But that's easy enough, right? Okay, whatever. We can all just find 40 minutes worth of stuff to talk about. But then the thing is, if you're uploading daily or 3 times a week or whatever, you've got to find new and interesting stuff to talk about 4 times, 3 times a week for an hour. And it's like, okay, I get it. Some people are more interesting than others, but I don't care how frickin' interesting you are. Like, you know, even if you have enough interesting stuff to talk about, you don't have enough time for it to like reach the surface, if that makes sense. Like, okay, you exhaust yourself on day 1 recording a 50-minute video and, you know, happy days. You've found enough interesting stuff to talk about. But then you do day 2, okay, you might just find enough. Day 3, okay. But then next week it's like, okay, well, I know I have more interesting stuff that's happened in my life, but like my brain hasn't like pulled it out of the freaking the archives yet. And like I don't even know, I haven't read the notes. I don't know how to talk about this interesting stuff yet. So you kind of just like stuck there, you know, looking pretty silly with the thumb on your forehead in the shape of an L, something like that. I think there's a good song along those lines. I think it is a classic. In the shape of an L on the forehead. No, I'm not good. I'm not going to attempt to sing it, but you know, Smash Mouth's All Stars or whatever it's called. It's a good song. I'm sure you've heard of it. If you haven't, heck, you need to get out under that boulder, my friend. You need to start living a little bit. You need to start enjoying. You need to let the music really take you, you know. You've got to reward yourself, as it were. But, you know, what can you do? You know what? I think life is an interesting concept. I wonder who come up with that concept of life, you know. The man in the sky, did he just one day, like, you know, think, oh, I don't know, life would be pretty cool, let's do it. And then he just clicked his fingers and then a couple of amoeba or something, just like... And then what about, like, the mitochondria, you know? How did they come about? Was that just through like, I don't know, was that just, like, a meme? Did God create the mitochondria as a meme, perhaps? I'm not sure. But let's not get religious, because that's very political, apparently. I don't know why it has to be. I don't know why I can't all just be like, yeah, life's cool. Don't hurt each other. Let's, you know, get along. But at the same time, I can sort of understand it, because, like, you know, people have different perspectives, and they just think they're all right, and everyone else is wrong, so let's just fight each other for the fun of it, you know. And then you do have the genuine wars, if you will, of people like, oh, well, I'm kind of starving here, so, like, I want some of your resources, so, you know, give it to me or I'm going to force you to give it to me. That happens sometimes, probably. I don't know. I'm not a war expert. I don't want to be a war expert. It's not really that interesting to me. Because, you know, like, for me, I'm just kind of just like, you know, do I really want to spend my time learning about past mistakes so that I can try to avoid making them in the future? That's like that's so boring, man. That's so yesteryear. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll get through this winter. We'll maybe do a bit of stuff in the spring. I don't know what we're going to do in the spring. I think, depending on how... clothes are getting down. We'll build a tailor in the spring. And then we'll probably build, like... I don't know, we need to collect some more resources. I think we'll demolish more resources. And then we'll build maybe a bit of forestry at some point. But if we can remove all resources, no discrimination, just get rid of all of that stuff. That gives us some for everyone to do in the winter time. Because we don't want them just sitting around relaxing. There's absolutely no time for that. Do we want to build a bridge across here? Well, yeah, eventually, but I don't see the point right now. We've already got one bridge. And it's a pretty damn fine bridge, I must admit. Look at this bridge. Oh, look at that. The textures in this game are very nice. For what it is, you know, it's a very light game. It runs pretty well. You know, yeah, sure, if you get to like a population of like 500, it might slow PC down a bit, but like, you know, I'm playing this on a potato and it's running pretty smooth. I'm pretty happy. Yeah, you know, look at this. What's your name, Andrew? Let's pause it and follow you for a little bit. How do we do this? Follow. There we go. Your Shamari the Builder is picking up resources. Yeah, mate. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, he's strong. You see how much resources he's carrying right now? He's carrying like at least 3 stones and like I think like 3 or 4 logs. Don't tell me he's gonna. Oh no, he was gonna go for that, but old mate, he covered him. See, this bloke's so strong. He's got such big pockets. He just put that whole stack of like stone into his pockets. You know, when you talk about getting stoned in these parts, you ain't talking about the illicit substance. You're talking about the straight up, you know, stoning of your pockets. Look at that. He even had an axe this whole time stored. I don't know where. I don't want to ask because more or less I don't want to know. But I'm just gonna guess that he's a magician. I'll assume that much. You know, and he's working. He's picking. He's just. This is the chic that I'm going for. It's the working class man that just walks straight through a tree to get to his destination. Axe over the shoulder, nonchalant, perfect walking form, absolute incredible speed. I mean, I have given him speed. I've given him 2 times the normal speed that he's usually entitled to. But look, if it helps him get stuff done, so be it. All right, I wonder what this lady's up to. We need to stop following you. I really do appreciate your work, Shamari, but I'm really interested in this person here. We've got Beth. She's a goth girl for sure. Oh my god, she's just about to hit her goth phase. Like, she's in the purple now, but like next year she's gonna be fully blacked out. This is gonna be so cool, fully cool. But she's a boss though. She's like a boss bitch or whatever you call them. You know, when you got those like fully motivated goth women that just go out to work every day. That's 100. Oh, are you a goth? I don't think so. I think you're just like a goody two shoes. I think this lady following her wearing this sort of setup. Let's see. Justiny, yeah, Justiny is such a goody two shoes. She comes from a good family. You can already tell, and she's the herbalist. Oh my goodness. Oh, she's visiting the herbalist. Okay. Yeah, well, that's because what else is she going to do? She's not going to work. She's way too upper class for that. She's going to go to the herbalist. But, unlucky for her, there is no herbalist. So she's just going to be out of luck, isn't she? We've got this useless child. What are they doing? Follow. Follow. Yeah, you're playing. Yeah. Why don't you work? Why don't you get a job? Be a real man. For money. What sort of name is that? Ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. We just got the deer chilling, they're hanging out. I mean, look at that. They're all like checking if there's any hunters. Don't worry, there'll be hunters soon. There won't be so many of you. Look at that. There's 7 deer. Do we really need that many deer? Really? I don't think so. I really don't. You better watch out, deers. Big ears. But yeah, this is winter. That's what it's like. There's not much you can do in winter. Sit back, relax. You know. I got a calculator on my desk. Maybe I'll do some maths. It's had a lot of good use, this calculator. The screen's burnt in. The buttons are sticky. It's honestly kind of filthy. But it still does math, you know. As filthy as it might be, it still works. How about we do 1 + 1? And it gives me 2. It's pretty sick. Oh, you know what? I'm inspired to play the powder toy now. I think that's what it's called. Haven't played that in a while, but it's so much fun, and it would make for a great video because it's one of those things you can do. I'd have to make it into a big series. Like, I don't know, there's something about these series that's kind of like, oh, it's daunting. Because I've got to come back and do this again next time. What if I get bored? I'm just got to force it to the camera, you know? I just gotta be like, oh yeah, hey guys, pretty excited here. Just, you know, it's my 15th million day playing the same game. And, you know, I feel like, even just thinking about that, I feel like I need a snooze now. Actually, when I stop this video, I'm probably just going to have a snooze. To be truthful. It's just too much. I want to put the phone on silent. I don't care that I might be on call and it might be a working day, you know, a business day. It's none of their business what day it is, you know. If you don't get your rest in, how are you supposed to be a functioning human? Exactly, right? Yeah, I don't know. Work's an interesting concept, to be honest. Kind of need to do it. Not everyone does. You know, sometimes I like ponder what it would be like if I was, you know, not in the working class. And to me, I don't care if you earn $150,000 a year or $300 or whatever. You're in the working class if you have to work to survive for the rest of your life, if that makes sense. If you can't just retire tomorrow, literally just retire tomorrow, and working is actually optional for the rest of your life, then you're in the working class as far as I can tell. Because, you know, that's the way it goes, right? If you don't have to work, you're not in the working class. So that's my definition. And I wonder often what it would be like to not be in the working class. You know, to have enough money to literally have work as an option. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool, I guess. Travel would be a fun thing to do. But again, there's different types of non-working class. You have the FIRE movement where it's like, okay, I'm not working class because, like, I busted my guts for, like, you know, from, like, 16 to, like, 35. And I bought a house and I paid it off. I'm living in the middle of nowhere, really cheap overheads. I got enough money saved, enough investments. I can literally stretch it till I'm, like, 90, living a basic minimalist lifestyle, chilling, right? Not that I'm putting any disrespect towards that, because that's sick as heck. That's like so cool, right? Minimalism and under-consumption. I don't know if under-consumption sounds bad. I just mean it relative to like what most people consume. Not that it's not enough, just that it's less than the average, right? But if you under-consume and you live a very basic life, it is easier to, you know, remove yourself from the working class. But the non-working class that I'm talking about are the ones that have overconsumption as an option. The ones that have a lot of capital. And in that case, I think I would do a lot of travel, you know. Go a lot of places, right? Because, like, you know, you'd get too bored quickly otherwise. But the sucky thing is, when you've done all this stuff and you've gone all to the tourist hotspots and you've done all the bungee jumps and you've drunk all the expensive champagne and you've burnt through like 5 relationships and yada yada, then what are you left with? You're just left with depression and a lot of money. And it's like, oh, then it just sucks. Because then you really feel, I reckon, like you've got no reason to be depressed. Like, if you're broke, then you've always got a reason to be depressed. Even if your life's like perfect and you're surrounded by like nice people, you're like, oh, I'm broke, I can be depressed, whatever, you know, chilling. But like if you got like heaps of cash and you're depressed, then it's like, then it just flips. Then it's like socially unacceptable to be depressed. But also at the same time, it's then like a really attractive quality. Because who doesn't love that super depressed, like emotional girl who's got like heaps of money, but she's just like super depressed because she's got so much money. Like, so like such a nice aesthetic. Because, you know, they've always got like the best style and like the best taste in things, and they're just like super Instagram perfect, but like they're really sad. So it actually gives them depth. Like on the outside, they're so shallow, they're so vain, but also so perfect. So that's like the nice aesthetic on the outside. But then they've actually got this crazy layer of depth because they're like super sad, and they're just sad because they're just like think about too much. You know, they're just like, oh, you know, why can't people just get along? World peace, y'all. You know, but like it might seem basic, but it's actually like layered. It's like a cake. You know, it's like a multi-layered wedding cake. And yeah, they're depressed about the fact they got married and they wish they were not married, but, you know, I can help them out with that, why not? Send them my way. But, you know, that's another aside. Half joking, half true, as with pretty much everything I say. You know, take it with a few grains of salt or whatever. Sodium. You know, Na, it's a beautiful element, you know. And it makes up a lot of our words because it has a very rich place in history, in which I recommend you watch the OTR video on salt, because it's freaking awesome, as with the rest of their videos. Like, so underrated, such a cool, low-key, amazing channel, absolutely incredible. Well, I think that's everything. It's spring, maybe we come back in the next time. Let's just bring it down to 1 speed while we finish this video out, I guess. Yeah, I think plans for next year, well, it's this year now, but, you know, in bidet, sorry. It's the extra T on the end that makes all the difference. But yeah, I think next time we'll just demolish everything, build a bunch of houses, have a few master plan developments, and watch as everyone goes crazy in their little shoebox next door to their other shoebox. So, lots to look forward to. Unless you're in this house, because you've got like
such a cool house, man. Oh, look at these houses. How could you be upset? You know, honestly, they're so sick. They're awesome. I just have a massive craving right now, just all of a sudden, random, for like barbecue sauce. And I don't even like barbecue sauce. But like straight up, it just like, I don't even think it's maybe it's tomatoes, I don't know. I've just had a massive craving for like freshly cut, freshly baked potato chips. Like the long ones, obviously, depending on where you are in the world. Potato chips has different meanings, but just fresh out the oven, really nicely, home cooked, fresh potatoes. Put a little bit of really nice, like, oh, it is the tomato sauce. Yeah, it's good. I thought it was the barbecue sauce, but no, it was a false positive for the tomato sauce. Oh, maybe I should do that. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the shops. I'm gonna do some shopping, like a responsible adult. I'm not just gonna order takeout. I'm gonna go to the shops. And I'm gonna get some tomato sauce, but not just the regular stuff. I'm gonna get the specialty stuff, like the high quality artisan, the snobby tomato sauce. I want to live up to my name as a snob, and I'm going to get that high quality boutique tomato sauce. I'm going to get those crisp, not mushy, fresh potatoes. I'm going to put those in my cart. I'm going to pay the shop person some monies. I'm going to jog home, chop, 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 boil, 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 or in this case, steam, steam, steam. Get them to that nice par-cooked consistency. Oil, oil, oil. I sound like who sucks at cooking? Me. And yes, I know it's not who sucks at cooking. It's you suck at cooking. You don't need to correct me. But please do. It boosts the algorithm, I heard. But I'm going to do all of those things that he does and that he's taught me to do. And then I'm going to put this in the oven at 565 degrees Celsius. And then 100 minutes later, I will take them out as they reach their perfect molecular state, and I will eat them, and it's going to be good. So while you sit at home feeling jealous for me, and I sit here in panic as I've let half the year go talking about tomato sauce and freshly baked potato chips, I will bid you farewell until the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Maybe. Goodbye.